Is Kanye a clout chaser? That's the question I want to explore today on this episode of whatever the fuck I call this channel. My name is Chris Lambert, co-host of Watching the Throne, a lyrical analysis of Kanye West. And this idea of Kanye being a clout chaser is something that I've been seeing coming up on Twitter more and more over the last couple weeks, especially after the release of I Love It, the song with Lil Pump, where, Kanye and Pump make a comedy song, a meme song almost, with a music video that's one of the top music videos. So a lot of people have viewed that as Kanye trying to stay relevant, him going back to Chicago as a publicity stunt to fix his image rather than maybe something he's doing earnestly, which that's a whole other conversation. But there's this clip that's been kind of popular on Twitter that features Joe Budden, who has, the top music podcast, one of the top podcasts, talking about his views on Kanye. And I think if you follow this channel and what I've been saying about Joe, I think Joe has a very superficial conversation about Kanye going on. And I take some issues with this. And he gets into the idea that Kanye is just clout chasing. So I'm going to play this and then we're going to get into why Joe's comment makes no sense to me. And, maybe at the end of it, you'll side with Joe. Maybe at the end of it, you'll side with me. So let's see. Speak, Joe, speak.
When it comes to Kanye, I don't give a fuck about none of this entertainment, smoke and mirror shit. Are you okay? That's it. Are you okay? Nothing about his behavior tells me that he's okay. If he thinks Watch the Throne is going to get me to give a fuck about him being all right, no, my nigga, I got that album. I got that album and it's great. I also got you and Cuddy. I got you and enough niggas. You done fucked enough albums up recently.
Fucked
I want to
albums
know about
up.
you.
What?
So what will it take for you?
None of these shenanigans. I'm off of Kanye and the shenanigans. I'm off of Nicki and the shenanigans. I'm off of M and the shenanigans. I'm off of all of these disconnected, out-of-touch entertainers that are doing nothing but clinging on to these young niggas clout chasing. They not doing nothing. Kanye was a genius last decade. Let's keep it a buck. The music has been under par.
Under par. Under par music is just subjective to begin with, right? There are people that think Yeezus and musical folk, right? Like qualified, smart people that have opinions on music that think Yeezus is amazing. There's a whole concert series called Beethoven that compares what Kanye did on Yeezus, soundscape-wise, with music from Beethoven. But with that said, there's people that know a lot about music that think Yeezus is garbage. There's no objective analysis of, I think, what is good or not in that way. You can just set bars and say, I think this is what constitutes good, and does this meet it? And some albums will, some won't. It just depends on the bar that's being set. I think Yeezus is great. I think Life of Pablo is great. I think Ye is great. So I take some issues with that. But he gets into the idea of clout chasing. And, All right, so is Kanye a clout chaser because he's working with younger artists that are a bigger deal, like Lil Pump, a bigger deal? I just think that's hilarious because if you look back through Kanye's discography, which is what we're going to do here, look at what this guy's done. All right, College Dropout, right? He put GLC and Consequence on a song together. At that point, Consequence is a known entity, right? He was all the way back in 1996, being on a Tribe Called Quest albums, and he pairs him with GLC, and nobody knew in the mainstream who the fuck GLC was. But yet he's pairing this younger artist with a known artist. You look at Never Let Me Down, Jay-Z. People know who Jay-Z is. And you compare that to Jay Ivy. Nobody knew who the fuck Jay Ivy was when this came out. So here again, Kanye paired somebody that is well known in the game with somebody that was a complete unknown in pop culture. Jamie Foxx on Slow Jams. Jamie Foxx at this point didn't have a music career. He didn't have an album out. He wasn't Jamie Foxx, this singer that is a triple threat in terms of singing, acting, and I don't know what the triple part would be. But singing and acting. He was a dual threat for sure. But he put Jamie Foxx on Slow Jams, which is more of a comedy bit, but then comes back with Foxx on Gold Digger and records that with him. Those are things that helped break Jamie Foxx's pop culture mainstream music career, along with doing the movie Ray, where he played Ray Charles. But it's one thing to perform in that movie and do a great job. It's another thing to be on a hit song like Slow Jams and a hit song like Gold Digger. Oh, and, you know, Mos Def with the Boys Choir of Harlem. Kanye was definitely clout chasing by pairing up with the Boys Choir of Harlem, or Freeway, right? Another, like, man, he has always worked throughout his career with people that are well known and people that are rising up and coming musicians that he wants to pair with, learn from, give some shine to. Happens again and again, and I'm so sorry that we're going to go through all of it. Late registration, Lupe Fiasco. At this point, Lupe didn't have his album out when they recorded Touch the Sky. So he's putting Lupe on before Lupe in the mainstream pop culture is Lupe. You know, we're getting Paul Wall and GLC again, Jamie Foxx again. Nas and Really Doe. Like, we're getting Nas and Really Doe on a song. But is he clout chasing because he's working with Really Doe? So when does it cross into clout chasing, right? Is that Graduation and working with T-Pain? Because at this point, when he makes Good Life, T-Pain has had his first album come out, Rappa Turned Senga, and Epiphany, I think, had just come out. But T-Pain definitely had the #1 song in the country, Buy You a Drink. So is that Kanye clout chasing? If Joe's saying that, you know, the last decade Kanye was a genius, and, you know, was it clout chasing there? But now that he's over the hill, he's clout chasing by pairing with younger dudes. This wasn't clout chasing. Was it just because Kanye was so popular that him working with younger artists wasn't? But now that in Joe's mind, Kanye's not as popular, that the music's bad, it's now clout chasing. That seems more that it's in the eye of the beholder than actually clout chasing, right? Like, if Joe still thought Kanye was great, I don't think he'd be accusing him of anything. Let's see, what else do we got going on here? We got 808s and Heartbreak, which is a huge one. This is really the mainstream introduction of Kid Cudi. It's in 2008 that Kid Cudi's first mixtape comes out. It's on 808s and Heartbreak that people first get familiar with the Kid Cudi sound and soundscape that would go on to make Man in the Moon so popular after 808s and Heartbreak was so derided when it first hit. And then Mr. Hudson, you know, wasn't Mr. Hudson at that point. So he works with Cudi, he works with Hudson, and he works with Lil Wayne. Is he just supposed to work with Lil Wayne and other famous known entities? Or is that clout chasing? I'm really confused here. Which part of it is clout chasing? My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Oh, yeah. Nicki Minaj. You know, just putting Nicki Minaj and Bon Iver on a song with Jay-Z and Rick Ross. You know, Ross and Jay-Z were popular at that point. Nobody really knew Bon Iver. Like, Vernon had released the Emma album, and that's it. And while that got praise in the indie rock world, that's the alternative small indie rock world, not the mainstream pop culture. Same with Nicki. Like, there might have been like hip-hop heads that knew who Nicki was, but this was Nicki's like big introduction to the world and blasted off her career. You look at So Appalled. He has Swiss Beats, Jay-Z, Pusha T, Sci-Hi the Prince, and RZA on a fucking song. If there's anything that I think encapsulates Kanye's approach to collaborations and just how much he does not give a fuck who it is, just do a great job on this track, it's so appalled. He'll work with whoever. Just, are they good? Are they doing something that's interesting to him? It doesn't matter where they're at in their career. It just matters how it sounds to Kanye. Yeezus. One of the things with Yeezus is that it was not predominantly, but Travis Scott played a huge role in the writing and production of Yeezus. And nobody knew who the fuck Travis Scott was at that point. You know, if he had dropped Astroworld in 2013, people would have been like, what is this? Get out of here. But, you know, following Yeezus, following the buildup that he had after Yeezus, he's Travis Scott. We know him now. But was that clout chasing of Kanye to work with Travis on this album? Was it clout chasing of him to work with Assassin? Just because Assassin was popular in, there's Felix, popular in Jamaica? Does that mean Kanye was just kind of clout chasing the Jamaican culture of music? Nah. Pablo, same kind of thing. Like, was he clout chasing when he put Chance on Ultralight Beam? Or is this him, you know, helping out an artist like Chance get that rub that knocks Chance way more into the mainstream than what Chance was before? I'm going to tell you, it's the latter. Yo, this is the motherfucker that brought Kendrick on tour. Like, Good Kid, Mad City had come out, and people fucking loved Good Kid, Mad City. But everybody going to the Yeezus tour got to see Kendrick and Kanye. Like, how fucking amazing is that? That Kendrick was opening for Kanye on the Yeezus tour. Is that Kanye clout chasing? Or is that Kanye saying, like, hey, you're doing great stuff. I want to help make people love you even more. And then, yay, you know, we get Party Next Door. We get, oh shit, who's the other one on Violent Crimes? Ty Dolla $ign. And Shake. Was Kanye clout chasing when he put 070 Shake on Ghost Town? It's just such an absurd point of view for Joe to have, which is the issue that I have with most of Joe's views on Kanye. And most of his talk about Kanye. Like, he says he wants to know how Kanye is. You know, how are you? How are you doing? Just like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, Kanye gave Felix 2 one-hour interviews on Chicago radio stations. They were some of the most vulnerable interviews you'll hear an artist give. Kanye cried on air during one when talking about Don C. Joe Budden, if he cared, would have paid attention to those, instead of just writing them off as some shenanigans that Kanye's doing and then saying Kanye's clout chasing. Like, no. He cares about Kanye the way Stephen A. Smith cares about LeBron, the way that Skip Bayless cares about anybody in sports. Or, like, he is a friend of LeBron. The way Stephen A. Smith is a friend of LeBron's, like, Joe Budden's a friend of Kanye's. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. So is Kanye clout chasing? I hope you come to the conclusion that no, he's not. And now I'm going to end this because the cat wants me to end. So see ya. Oh, and if you can subscribe, that would be great. We're trying to reach 1,000 to monetize the channel. I think we've hit the 700 mark, which thank you all who have subscribed. That means a lot. And you know, pushing on to 1,000. Thank you very much. And if you have a topic you want me to make a video on, leave the comments down below. And we'll talk soon. See ya.